Hello. So you know, if those of you were watching, I was just disconnected, okay? Isn't that coincidental? Anyway, I do hope you join me again. So basically what I was trying to say, is they're creating the conflict between you and me, and their intentions were not pure. Okay, to bring in the illegals was not a pure intention for us to help one another, right? It wasn't. And, oh, this is what I was saying. I do hope you join me again. That is not coincidental that they cut me off. It's okay. We do help our neighbors. We do help our neighbors. I help my neighbor. I shovel her Subaru and I'm only 5 foot. And I shovel her Subaru when it's snowing and she doesn't know. Not to pat myself on the back. But that is helping your neighbor, right? We do that all the time. So the fact that they're twisting this to say, oh, well, if you are against the import, forgive me, I don't know why that word came out, but if you're against the import of illegals, then you're not a good neighbor. That's not true. That situation, they either come legally, sponsor someone if that's the case. And I'm so sorry, I lost everybody who was watching. So if you're just catching this now, please do catch the first part of this, because I'm almost guaranteeing Facebook, just out of the blue, my connection, I was disconnected. So please catch the first one if you can. If someone wants to come here, they either come legally or you come with no handouts, right? The Pope too, and I can't believe I'm talking about the Pope, but I will. But no, not the Pope, I'm sorry, someone else. No, it was the Pope. About how even Joseph and Mary, they fled. And people fled Egypt. We know all of that. But they fled and worked and tried to make themselves a better life. They did not come expecting handouts. And even our own people, yes, we are, you're here to benefit from some of the, I can't think of the word. We are here, we pay taxes. If we need help, that's what it's here for. But it's not here to enable you. It's here to help you. And I think that's the difference. People were coming here. They were brought here for their own purposes, not to be good neighbors, okay? But yet they're twisting it where now if you and I disagree, we're not good neighbors, and that's not true. Thank you for joining again. Facebook disconnected me, so isn't that ironic? So it's really important to know that we do need to be good neighbors. We do need to help one another always, but you need to help your own family first. Okay, you have to take care of your own family. Jesus said that too. But you do help others. Well, you just don't enable. Believe me, I'm an Italian citizen. I probably cannot go to Italy and just ask for handouts. I would still have to, work. And and again, this is all just to divide you and me. Now, this is another topic, but I have to say this. So this all came over me like at 5 this morning. So it was about BLM, the illegals, and now transgenderism. Because I saw a post the other day about Girl Scout cookies, and they won't sell if you're against transgenders. Listen, it's not subjective. There are only 2 genders. God created only 2 genders. I'm sorry, it's not my opinion. It's a fact. It's the animal kingdom, right? However, right, we're not supposed to be racist or to be against anyone who feels differently. This is where they're trying to divide us as well. This was all, and I lost my flow ever since they disconnected me. But I'm just going to keep going anyway. I can be against transgenders only in as much as God created only 2 sexes, right? But it doesn't mean I'm against you. It doesn't mean I don't have compassion. It doesn't mean I don't even have compassion for the parents. This is a huge thing. I do believe certain things. I do believe you have to get through puberty. I do believe that it could be an imbalance. And I'm not a doctor. I'm a healer, but I'm not a doctor. It could be an imbalance in hormones. You might be a man or a boy with too much estrogen, or a woman or a girl with too much testosterone. It could be as simple as that. You know, and this is fascinating to me. I know of a girl, a high schooler, who's one of three, you know, the triplets, who identifies as a boy. And she's the cutest girl and identifies as a boy. Okay, it's not rocket science to assume it's almost like she just wants to find her own identity. She doesn't want to be one of three. So she wants to be herself. So how else to be yourself but to be opposite than a girl? Right? That's just psychology. I don't know. I haven't spoken to the person. I'm not saying it's true. But my brain went there immediately. So we have to think a lot before you just decide you're not, hi John, you're not the sex opposite that you were born. I'm not saying, again, but even this, I saw there was a post about Girl Scout cookies. And John, if you can, or anyone else watching, thank you. There's another post, and somehow I got disconnected. So I was talking BLM, I was talking illegals. I don't know if Facebook did it. It's very possible they did it. So that's a part one. So I saw this post that Girl Scouts will not sell cookies to people who are against transgenders. You know, so what does that mean? This is what I was talking about in the first video. They are trying to divide us. Just because I believe God only created two sexes doesn't mean I'm against a transgender. Doesn't mean I judge you. Doesn't mean, you know, if I go somewhere and there's a waiter who's a boy dressed as a girl, I'm not going to tip you. You see what they're trying to do to us? It's terrible. It's terrible. So I can be against something, but doesn't mean I'm judging that. Do you know what I mean? It's not that I'm judging against that. And that's what being a Christian is about. I'm tired of people saying, well, because I don't believe that we should open the door to every single person. And not even that. I do believe you should open if the person needs. I do not believe in enabling. I do not believe. If you need it, it's fine. But I do not believe that I have to pay for college for my son and someone else gets it for free. Believe me, if I went to another country, that would not be the case. Do you know in Italy, and I think this is true, I read it somewhere, you can be a parent of an immigrant who lives in Italy and be born there and go all the way through high school. You're still not Italian. You still have to take a citizenship test. So, you know, there are certain things I feel strongly about. Does that make me not a Christian because I don't help my neighbor? I help my neighbors all the time. I have 2-3 jobs. I do what I have to do and I still donate. And this isn't about me in that sense. I just want people to realize that they are dividing us. If you tell me I cannot buy Girl Scout cookies because I believe that God created two sexes, I'm sorry, you're dividing me. You're closing the door on me. I never said don't be a transgender. I do say I don't want my tax dollars teaching a 5-year-old about that when that 5-year-old has not even reached puberty. So I just wanted to talk about, and again, if you're just joining, hey Lisa, thank you. If you're just joining, I started earlier and was ironically disconnected. So if you want to catch that, you can. I just feel very strongly I need to tell you that they are dividing us. That's simply put. BLM, it started with BLM. It was to divide us. I don't know about you. I did not need to be reminded that Black Lives Matter. You know? It was just to divide us. I can't say that anymore. So all of it, even the illegal situation, just because I believe you should be here, you should come here justly, or you come here with at least gratitude for the country. My father worked his butt off. My father was, you know, he was up here. Then he was here. And that's a different discussion. Everybody knows, even when you're making fun of others, and I don't want to get political, But you make fun of other people. Oh, well, they're bankrupt. They went bankrupt. What do they know? No, everybody knows a highly successful person. I'm talking about my father here, okay? I'm not talking about anyone else. A highly successful person has worked and failed and failed. So my father was so grateful to be here. And if you're not going to watch the first video, my parents used to have one slice of pizza for dinner. No handouts from the government. So just because I am against, giving people $5,000 a month on a debit card when I pay my taxes, does not mean I'm not a good Christian or I'm not a good neighbor. Okay, and this is where I want, obviously I'm showing what side I'm on, but the sad thing is they are dividing us. The other side that doesn't see what I'm just saying, it's their fault. I don't like that word. It's like if you don't see the logic in that, then it's like you're part of the problem, and it's so sad. Just because I believe there are only two genders doesn't mean I don't like you. Doesn't mean I don't feel for you. I could cry for you right now. Can't imagine how hard that is, right? But this partially comes from whatever that post I saw. I can't buy Girl Scout cookies because I believe in only two sexes. I mean, that's terrible. And those people are the ones dividing us, So that was it, really. The first one was, I was talking about BLM, same thing. I mean, they brought flatbeds of bricks in to destroy people's livelihoods. For what? The truth is, if you're racist, if you were racist before BLM, I'm going to bet my life you're still racist. And I'm not judging. And if you weren't racist, you're still not racist. Like, it was all nothing. I mean, it was all something. It was all to divide you and me. And I stand on that. All of it was to divide you and me. Those open borders were not to be good Christians, okay, or to be a good country. It was, and I don't want to say too much actually now, but it was about the votes. And it was about to undermine you and me, And again, I'm not saying people don't come to this country with gratitude, but you have to come with no handouts. I'm sorry. I don't get handouts. I'm a single white mom. I get no handouts. And I still love this country. I actually made a joke when they put up the LBGQ. I don't even know the right order. I'm sorry. When they put that flag up at my son's school, whenever they did a few years ago, I actually called and I joked. I was like, when are we going to have a flag for single white mothers? When are we going to have a flag for men who work their 12-hour days to support their families? It's like they just want to distract us from, I don't know. It's like they just wanted to distract us instead of loving each other. That's what I mean. I don't know about you, but I never judge if someone, whatever, there's a waiter who's a boy who wears makeup. I mean, I never judge that. Why do we have to spend tax dollars to put it in my face? Why? And again, I know why. It was just for you and me to be mad at each other. And that's the sadness. And if you're just joining, thank you so much. This really stemmed from a post that someone, and again, I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry, where, Girl Scout cookies, the girls, they were not selling to people who are against transgender. So there's a difference. Again, there's a difference between what the truth is and how you feel. The truth is there are only two genders. I'm sorry. Look around. I mean, it's not rocket science. And yet, why can't I buy Girl Scout cookies? I'm not judging you. Actually, I cry for you. It must be really difficult. But the truth is, and I said this to my mom yesterday, I'm 5'1". I can feel 6 foot as much as I want. I can wear 11-inch heels to compensate. I'm still 5'1". And I think this is a different discussion. Now I'm rambling. But I think that it's difficult to feel like something that you were not born. I'm not knocking that. I just think a lot of this, all of this being shoved in our face was just for us to fight. And it's really sad. Because the people who are pro, the illegals should be the first ones to open their door and support them. Right? The first people, I said this in the first one, because I feel strongly about this. The first person who is pro-war, you should be the first one to send your own child. It's so easy to say things behind a gated community, living in a gated community. I'm a musician. I will talk about all the famous artists that I used to, what's that word? Not envy at all. What's that word? You used to look up to them. I'm sorry, you live in a gated community. You should be the ones. Why don't you why don't you sponsor some illegal people so they can be legal? But again, this is not about that as much as all of this was to divide you and me. And I wish we would just if we just came to that realization, then you can be left and right and be together. But if you don't come to that realization and you just look at someone, well, you're anti-illegal or you're anti-transgender, I can't be your friend, then that's the sad thing. As long as we know what the truth is, you can still believe. That's totally cool. But we should be able to be together and to understand this. And this is why Facebook, I think, disconnected me the first time. I think so. I really feel strongly about that. Just because I believe in two sexes does not make me anti-transgender. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I don't know, anything else to say? Anybody there? Thank you so much for watching. I don't know if anyone has any comments. I just realized that when I read the Girl Scout post. And it was someone I knew. I'm like, so I can't buy cookies just because, I don't know. I think that was it, everybody. Thank you so much. I feel like I'm missing something. I guess let me just say this for anybody who's watching who is of the one side. Just know that the other side, and I'm going to cry. Those of you who know when I cry, it's the truth. Just know the people on the other side, we're great Christians. Just because we believe, I'm first generation American. My parents came here with nothing. We're given nothing. Okay? Nothing. And both turned out to be very successful. And I was able to go to conservatory. And I was able to get a lot of things because of my parents working hard. So just because someone is against people coming here illegally, or just because someone feels against, putting up flags and getting in my face, it doesn't make me racist. You understand that? Or because I do believe a child, before you do anything to a child, you wait till through puberty. You look at everything. Look at their estrogen levels, their testosterone levels. Just look at, that's what I was saying in the previous video, because I found it blatant to me that I know this cute high schooler, one of 3 triplets, all girls. And this person identifies as a boy. And I'm not a doctor. And the first thing I thought was, of course, because this person, he doesn't want to be one of 3. They want to be their own person. You've got to look at all of that. So it's not a question of being against transgender at all. It's the fact that we are being inundated. And so the minute that you do have questions or you want to analyze the situation a little, all of a sudden, oh, you're not a good Christian. Oh, you don't love everybody. That's not the case at all. You just have to use your logic and just look at look at the bottom line. The bottom line is we're fighting against each other, you and me. And everyone else doesn't really care. So this is what we have to realize. Please share this if you believe the same, or just share this in conversation with people. Just because I believe one way doesn't mean I'm against the other way, if that makes sense. I have to go. Everybody knows I'm a church musician on the weekends. If you are interested, just to change the subject for a second, anyone who wants to check out In the Name of Love, please check out our calendar. We are going to be back up in my almost hometown, next door to my hometown, in April. We'll be in Warwick, and then we'll be at Just Jake's in May. Sorry to toot that, but I just realized what time it is. I have to run to church. Love you much. Share this if you agree. Please, if you just joined, feel free to check out the first one. I think Facebook, maybe not, cut me off on that one. So God bless you all. Thank you for watching and listening. Bye.